What's up, YouTube? This is LA Prepper, and a very, very important announcement to make. Oh, they include cucumbers as well as limes, and long story short, I went to a new taco place, and I already like them for several different reasons, and although I do like my old place a lot because they have guacamole. But let's talk about this real quick. So, I will say the guy did not think very much of my Spanish because he said para aquí or para llevar, and while I was thinking, I knew what he meant. It just been such a long time, everything's been to go for so long and been such a long time since anyone asked me, like, for here to go, because it's like you're never inside the restaurant these days, right? So anyways, I'm just sitting there waiting. He's like, for here to go, and I wanted to say, dude, I know what you meant. I was just thinking, but obviously me being a gringo and him not being a gringo, he kind of he gets the benefit of the doubt of being a better estimate of my Spanish skills, based on looking at me. He stereotyped me as a white guy who doesn't know how to speak Spanish, and he wasn't really wrong. But anyways, bad stereotype. I will admit, no matter how many times I try to eat the rind of a cucumber, I am not a fan. Just peel the damn things. They're not, I'm sure there's nutrition in the edge, but they're just not that good in the outside. Like for someone who says like, oh, there's all the nutrients in the rind, or you can't taste the rind, or just eat it, or whatever. Like, I almost want to like peel a bunch of cucumbers, wash the peels, put it into a giant peel bar, and say, here, eat your. It's the same as a cucumber peel, because it's not. So I asked for 5 tacos. I wonder if they gave me one separately. Oh, and they gave me the freaking caramelized onions. Oh, this shit right here is gold. And I didn't really realize it was a street taco thing until I figured out my local taco stand that's my normal favorite does it. Because they're pretty authentic. So I'm like, well, these guys, these guys do it. It must be a thing. The jalapenos, though, I cannot. Unless they're cooked a lot more, the jalapenos are going to get me. But I asked, I said with everything, right? Con todo. And kind of means like, do you want everything on your tacos? But the caramelized onions separately, that's very nice. Let's talk real quick. Let's see if I can pan my door. I'm using my cabinet door as a tripod right now. So we got 2 types of sauce. We have probably way too spicy red sauce, which I suspect it is. Let's see. Yeah, that'll put some hair on your chest. I am not pouring all of that all over my tacos. That is some, oh man, that's some good stuff though. That's the kind of stuff you get like a teaspoon and put it in like 4 scrambled eggs and you're perfect. But you start dumping all that on a taco, you're going to be hurting in the present and the future. Kind of like a hurt that spans time zones. So we got the super spicy red sauce, probably not as crazy spicy green sauce, although sometimes the green sauce, if it's like straight jalapenos, can be spicy. Alright, green sauce does not seem to be insanely spicy, so that's good. Then we have our cebollas y cilantro. So I was like reading the whole menu there when I was there, just as like a kind of just as practice and kind of like a joke, because I like to show my Mexican friends that I can be funny. So we have some cebollas, or cebolla, onions plural, y cilantro, the cilantro. Kind of an easy word because it's the same. See, that's a fun thing about learning languages is you're like, oh, you call cilantro, or cilantro, and we call cilantro. So it's kind of convenient. Like lime is limon, or lemon. Yeah, lime is like limon, and then lemon is... Hold on. Oh, that's gonna bother me. Is it lima? You know, I have to say it's very weird because radish is rabona, and when I'm at my other place, he'll have a bag of radishes and limes, and he'll say ribonas y limones, or limones and ribonas, not limas, which is lime, but I swear he'll say lemon, limon, which is very different than lima. I mean, I can hear what he's saying. He's not usually speaking that fast. But anyways, I wonder if colloquially, like lime, lemon, kind of, I don't know. I'll have to really pay attention next time and really listen. Because I understand, like in any language, you kind of speak very quickly and kind of gloss over words, but I would be very surprised if he's saying limon when he's clearly giving me limes. Just like I'd be surprised if he said lima when he's giving me lemons. But who knows, you know? Language does not always come across the computer correctly, so we're putting some... Usually I eat these separately, but it's a lot of work, so... My stomach, I don't mind the taste of jalapenos, and I don't even mind the spiciness, but my stomach is, even as I'm eating 5 street tacos, believe it or not, I have a sensitive stomach, but like real food, like a little bit of animal grease on the tortillas, real meat, real vegetables, you know, limes, cucumbers, like this is all real food, which is nice. You know, it's not slightly more real. I don't have any, I think I ran out of my hamburger helper, tuna helper thing, but you know, that's like wheat flour, and I mean, there's some corn flour in the tortillas, but, and I'm not like a gluten fanatic, but you probably shouldn't eat, like that old food pyramid, I think was a load of crap. 6 servings of grains a day? You want me to eat like a loaf of bread a day, really? I'm pretty sure you're not going to get to the Olympics eating a loaf of bread every day. And you're also not going to be obese eating a dozen eggs a day. I don't think you could even... If you ate a dozen eggs a day, not only would you get sick of eggs, but you would have way more than enough protein. I was about to start narrating in Spanish. Así que tenemos 5 tacos. So here you have it. We have 2 de asada con cebollas, un poquito de cilantro y salsa verde. 2 de carne asada, 2 de al pastor, que era un poquito más naranja, color de naranja, y 1 de pollo. 5 tacos, $2. Cada taco cuesta $2 y pues en total $10. And now let's see. So I'm gonna save the best for last. I'm gonna start with the pollo, which is a lot of pollo on here. Damn. Which is good. Man, it's really hot too. The guy's down the street from me just took it off the grill. This thing is super hot. Okay. Not bad, not bad. Doesn't quite taste like super grilled chicken, but it doesn't quite taste like boiled chicken. Maybe baked. I don't think so though. But baking it, then chopping it, and putting a little grill mark on it would be a really good way to keep your food safety up. Because then you would know that it's cooked, and then you just kind of add some grill marks. But not bad, not bad. I've had better chicken. I mean, I hate to say it, but like even El Pollo Loco chicken is like pretty damn good. It's kind of expensive, but I feel like that's a fair standard because that's kind of a fast food restaurant, even though they have a real grill in there. I mean, it's edible. Yeah, I don't know why, but like, they have. Speaking of chicken, forgive me, I'm eating. I'm hungry. They have places where I live, near where I live, where they'll cook up a whole chicken, give it to you with some tortillas and beans and rice. In fact, I think my buddy and I got that from one of the local places. And it was something like, I was like $15 for like a whole chicken, 4 tortillas, medium thing of rice, medium thing of beans. I mean, definitely 2 normal people. My friend and I were both kind of hungry, so we both got kind of 1 each, but 2, average size adults with average physical activity would probably feed them. But the reason that I bring this up, the chicken, is that I know there are people in my neighborhood that know how to grill some mean chicken. But the chicken that you get with your taco at stands that I have been to as of late, and taco trucks and other locations that you get taco, not including Del Taco or Taco Bell, like real restaurants, or real, more authentic, like real food. Best way I can think to say it. I know there are places that grill chicken, but generally the chicken you get on the tacos, when you ask for, a pollo or whatever, it's just not impressive. And I don't know exactly what's up with that, but maybe I will figure it out someday. We'll see. I think the al pastor is going to be better, so let's try the carne asada next. That was a lot of food for 1 taco. People say like, oh, like $2 a taco, but like, look at this thing. I don't have small hands. This is not that tiny of a taco. One more lime. Okay. Yeah. I'm pretty hungry, so if they were amazing, they should really. The carne asada is not bad. The one stand that I go to puts guacamole on every taco, and I love them so much for it because, I don't know if this whole like putting guacamole and sour cream on Mexican food is an American thing or not, but I know crema is pretty big in the Latin American community. But But the amount of guacamole this dude puts on the tacos at the other place, it's not bad. But I do like overall, I mean, the speed. They didn't have pinto beans, and I do really like those pinto beans from that place. Man, I really love that place. I did not try this place's horchata, but I am a fairly good judge of horchata. I know I say it like a gringo, but I am a gringo, so I'm allowed to say it like a gringo. But the horchata is something that I've always thought was important in grading the quality of Mexican food. Now you might think, well, if you're eating the food, why would you grade the drink as it relates to the food? Well, you also might say, like, why would you grade whether or not you get chips? Now, granted, like your taco stand, getting chips with the meal isn't as common of a thing as going to a restaurant and getting chips. But it used to be that smaller shops, you get a burrito, you get some chips. You get some tacos, you get some chips. Here's the chip bar, you want some chips or whatever, just grab some chips or some salsa. But the day of the free chip does not seem to be, around anymore. I don't know if it's just because the economy is rough, but if you feel like you are seeing free chips or chips like with a meal, not like, 75 cents. Like, no, every burrito comes with some chips or whatever. Like, fucking 10 cents of chips, Or what, 25 cents of chips? You're going to hold out on somebody? I mean, I guess, right? That's a lot of money as far as profit goes, but... So I was right. Al pastor is much better. In fact, not bad. There's these certain spices that they use on it. I haven't figured it out yet, but man, that's good. Okay, so their al pastor is pretty solid. I wish I had a little more lime. Go really well with this lime. But yeah, the al pastor is pretty solid, and I might give it just a touch of the fire sauce. Just a little bit. It tastes really good. I don't want to kill it. Just a little bit to give it just that little kick. Yeah, if I pour this whole thing on there, I'd be like, oh my god, don't do that. So, more palate cleansing. Radishes, always feel like I'm eating sushi, and I like eating some ginger in between meals. Gotta love that freshly sliced ginger. Good stuff. Alright, so let's keep working on this. Here we have some al pastor down the hatch. Maybe just a little more. Poquito más. Cebolla y cilantro, pero no tan mucho, not too much. Or not so much. Not so many. Some things don't translate as well. It's kind of tough. But yeah, they gave me everything in a little bags, a little bag of onions, the jalapenos, 2 types of salsa. Sometimes I'd be trying to give white boys 1 type of salsa. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't want salsa options. How are you gonna play me like that? Right? Like going to an Asian restaurant, they don't be giving you chopsticks. Of course, they look at you and they're like, this white boy don't know how to use chopsticks. And I look at them like, motherfucker, you think this is the first time I've eaten Chinese food? Relax. Using chopsticks is not cultural appropriation. It's just cultural authenticity. If they eat with chopsticks, why can't I eat with chopsticks? That's how it's done. It's just the way you do it. That's why I'm not eating these tacos with a knife and fork, for Christ's sake, because it's, you eat it with your hands. It's just how you eat tacos. So, I don't know. Gotta eat Chinese food with chopsticks. It's just the way of the world. Can't really explain it. They shouldn't even give you a fork. When you ask for a fork, you should be like, they should just say like, I'm sorry, no fork. You learn to use chopsticks today. That's what they should say. They should give you a card with 2 steps. Step number 1, place chopsticks in your hand. Step number 2, eat food. Use chopsticks to eat food. Trust me, if you were hungry enough, you would figure out how to use them damn chopsticks. The trickiest part about chopsticks isn't grabbing the food, it's holding them correctly. Once you figure out how to hold them, they're actually really cool in my opinion, because number one, they only take one hand. Now there are some cons, but we'll talk about the pros. They only take one hand. So if I want to eat some food and gesticulate with my other hand and point at various things, which is a funny point that I mentioned that, chopsticks are nice. Interestingly, chopsticks are very good for pointing at stuff as well, because they're kind of long. So like you wouldn't point at something with a spoon, unless you had to and be like, oh, pass me that casserole. But if you're pointing with chopsticks, I don't own any chopsticks. I really should, but I'd say it's like Home Depot pencils, as long as the even chopsticks are much longer, but let's just say like roughly that's the amount sticking out from my hand. Compared to a spoon, you already got at least a good inch. And since you're kind of choking up on the spoon, sorry, I'm trying to look at the camera while I'm doing this. Anyways, you're gonna have a couple inches of better pointing with the chopstick. You can actually reach stuff farther. So like, you see in videos, Asians eating reach over to the middle of the table kind of better, because with just a little bit more reach, and you kind of stretch those chopstick out there, it gives you more access to the table, to the food at the table. And if you're sharing food, or you're doing a hot pot, or some hibachi grill, or anyways, there's a variety of reasons you might need to reach further than your plate. If only because, you're sharing with your buddy or your family. God, there's no way. How can I do this in one taco? This might need to be a double taco. I'm sorry. It's so untenable. Can't do it. Too much taco. Oh my God. Can't do it. That's so good. So I had to wash my hands and reset for the next go around. Yeah, their al pastor is pretty good. I would say for this place to compete with the last place, pinto beans, guacamole, and really that's it. Their carne asada is pretty on point. Maybe some slightly different salsa options, like between normal boring green and insanely hot red. Maybe they can have a sort of semi-flavorful medium rainbow sparkly salsa or something. I don't know. If I was a real American, I'd have 20 types of hot sauce in my house, but unfortunately I have 0 types of hot sauce in my house right now. And no, I'm not putting Tapatio on this shit. I've been through my Tapatio fad. It's okay. Kind of like this red shit. It's got a kick, but you throw too much on it and it just kind of kills it. It overpowers it, I think. Like, same with sriracha. I don't get the sriracha craze. I've tried it and I'm like, okay, it's some super fiery hot red pepper shit, but why would you want to put that on everything, you know? I mean, if you want everything to taste like sriracha, put sriracha on everything. Otherwise, just, use in moderation. I tell you, YouTube, I really don't need all these calories. It's not like I'm gonna die. But I can't stop. I mean, I had to get 5 tacos because it's easier to change. I don't want $12 back. Give me the 5 tacos. Throw in a wild card. Today, the wild card was chicken. They were out of tongue, which I did understand that he was telling me in Spanish. He said, no, there is none. Or his eyes, there is, and no. Like, literally, I guess it'd be like, no, there is. But of course, in Spanish, we sort of understand that to be, no, there is not. You could say, like, no hay nada. But, anyways, yeah, no hay. No hay lengua, or, it wasn't even lengua. What the hell what was it? Limbia or something. Anyways, that was